it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a massive book haul of 67 books to show you, so stay tuned. So as you can see, I have an insane amount of books here to show you. 67 books I've accumulated since my last regular haul video. I so went overboard. So I'm gonna make these descriptions as short and quick as I possibly can with still telling you about them. Just because there are so many and, well, I only have so much time. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so these books all came from subscription boxes, from a giveaway I won, from orders I placed on thriftbooks.com, bookdepository.com, Amazon.com, local bookstores, and I think that's it. Oh, no, there was also from the Decatur Book Festival as well. So there's a lot of books here to show you. I've tried to separate them out a little bit, so I can show you all the subscription box books first and then so on and so on. As far as all of the subscription box books, I can't exactly remember which books came in which box at this point, but it's okay. Alright, the first book we have here is My Plain Jane by the Lady Janies, Cynthia Hand, Brodi Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. And this is like a retelling of Jane Eyre, I believe. Okay, the next book is Mirage by Somaiya Daud. And this is about a girl who lives in this world that's dominated by this ruthless empire. And all she wants is to create and do art and read and write and go on adventures. And, well, she gets to go on an adventure because she's kidnapped and then she's taken to the castle because apparently she looks identical to the princess. And pretty much she has to be the princess's body double. And though she's been kidnapped, she can't help but enjoy the perks of the castle and getting to spend time with the princess's fiance. And if she would like to ever see her family again, she's gonna have to play the princess to perfection. Next up is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. She is also the author of The Kiss of Deception, and I believe this is part of the whole Remnant Chronicles. I think this came in my Totally Booked Crate box. This says, a stunning new adventure set in the kingdoms of Remnant. A formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations, a son destined to lead, thrust suddenly into power. 3 fierce young women of the Rattan, the Queen's premier guard. A legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself. A dark secret that is a threat to the entire continent. When outlaw leader meets reformed thief, a cat-and-mouse game of false moves ensues, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. Just so you know, the subscription boxes that these came out of, I believe we have Loot Crate, Totally Booked Crate, Owl Crate, Owl Crate Jr., and Second Star Books. I think that's all of them. Okay, next up is Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart. And this is about 2 sisters. Serena has been groomed her whole life to become a Grace, which is somebody that is like a subjugate for the heir and is supposed to be just this example of the perfect woman. And Serena was ready to take her role as that, but then her sister Nomi is the one that attracts the eye of the heir. So Nomi is taken as a Grace and Serena is forced to go to this island and pretty much fight for her survival. Okay, next up is The Legend of Greg, an epic series of failures by Rylander. And I'm just going to read a small part of this. So Greg's family has been plagued by bad luck since the dawn of time, but the curse only strikes on Thursdays. Greg finds out he isn't ordinary at all. He's actually an honest-to-goodness, fantastical dwarf When his dad is kidnapped by a murderous bro troll, Greg is whisked away to a mythical world beneath the streets of Chicago, where he discovers that the dwarves' long-lost magic may be returning, setting off an ancient conflict with their sworn enemy, the elves. Okay, next up is Night Books by J.A. White. And this is about a boy named Alex and a girl named Yasmin who have been imprisoned in this magical apartment by a woman named Natasha. And she has the bone keys, which is the only way that they can escape this place. But the only way for them to survive this place is that each day Alex has to tell Natasha one of his original stories. And she enjoys his stories, and so she lets them live. But he's getting to the point where he's running out of stories and he's running out of time, and they have to figure out a way to escape. Next up is The Walking Dead, the official cookbook and survival guide, written by Lauren Wilson. And this came in one of the Loot Crate boxes. It's interesting. It does have actual recipes in it, but it also has things like gathering water, treating water, storing water. Have a game plan, like survival basics and things like that. And so I thought this was kind of interesting. It came in a Loot Crate box, and Xander might enjoy reading the other stuff, and I might actually make some of the stuff in the cookbook. Okay, next up is The Great American Whatever by Tim Federle. And I'll just read the first sentence here. It says, Quinn Roberts is a 16-year-old smart aleck whose only worry used to be writing convincing dialogue for the movies he made with his sister. Of course, that was all before Quinn stopped going to school, before his mom started sleeping on the sofa, and before the car accident that changed everything. So this comes after all of that. And eventually, Quinn's best friend drags him out of the house to just try to get him back into the world, brings him to a college party where he meets this really hot guy, and he can start envisioning a happily ever after all. That book actually came in the Second Star book subscription box, and this came with it. It was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So I don't think I need to really tell y'all about this because, well, I think the whole world knows what Frankenstein is, but wow, is this dense. It's very thin, but very dense. Also from a Second Star book subscription box, we had A Scream All Night by Derek Millman. And this is about a boy named Dario who spent his life helping his dad with this studio called Moldavia Studios. And he finally escaped and he's moved on with his life. And then one day his brother calls him back and needs his help. And this was kind of his way of getting closure on the place. He goes back expecting this to just be a one-time visit. And then he gets kind of sucked back into this life and trying to rescue this studio. And this says it's a darkly hilarious romp about growing up and finding your place in the world. Okay, also in one of the Second Star book subscription boxes, we got Not Even Bones by Rebecca Schaefer. And it says here, betrayal is a bloody business. And back here it says, it takes a special kind of monster to dissect dead people and sell them without guilt. Gritty, compelling, a tale to feed the monsters of us all. I couldn't put this one down. Ellie Blake. Next up is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. This is about girl pirates. I'll just read you the first sentence here. It says, the first in a heart-stopping trilogy that recalls the undeniable feminine power of Wonder Woman and the powder keg action of Mad Max Fury Road. Seafire follows the captain of an all-female ship intent on taking down a vicious warlord's powerful fleet. Okay, so this next book is a book that I won from a giveaway hosted by Subscription Box Addict, and I'll put her link down below. She has a monthly giveaway, and I was very fortunate to win a Whimsify box that she had gotten an extra of. So I got Furyborn, the Imperium Trilogy Book 1 by Claire Legrand. And this says, two young women centuries apart hold the power to either save their world or doom it. When assassins ambush her best friend, the Crown Prince, Rael Dardine risks everything to save him, exposing her ability to perform all 7 kinds of elemental magic. The only people who should possess this power are a pair of prophesied queens, a queen of light and a queen of blood. To prove she is the Sun Queen, Rael must endure 7 trials to test her magic. If she fails, she will be executed, unless the trials destroy her first. 1,000 years later, the legend of Queen Rael is a mere fairy tale to bounty hunter Elenia Faracora. When the Undying Empire conquered her kingdom, she embraced violence to keep her family safe. Now she believes herself untouchable until her mother vanishes. To find her, Elenia joins a rebel captain on a dangerous mission and discovers that the evil at the heart of the Empire is more terrible than she ever imagined. As Rael and Elenia fight in a cosmic war that spans millennia, their stories intersect and the shocking connections between them will ultimately determine the fate of their world and of each other. And that sounds really interesting. Okay, these next books are books that I purchased from Books A Million. They are Deep Blue, Rogue Wave, and Dark Tide, all by Jennifer Donnelly. And these are the first 3 books in the Waterfire saga. And I'll just read you the little thing on the back of the first one here. It says, rich with magic and mythology, adventure and danger, romance and friendship, and themes both classic and contemporary, Deep Blue, Book 1 of the Waterfire saga, is an epic tale as expansive, mysterious, and beguiling as the sea itself. And then there's like a little poem thing, or a song. It says, daughter of Marrow, find the 5, brave enough to keep hope alive, one whose heart will hold the light, one possessed of a prophet's sight. One who does not yet believe, thus has no choice but to deceive. One with spirit sure and strong, one who sings all creatures' songs. Together find the talismans belonging to the 6 who ruled, hidden under treacherous waters, after light and darkness dueled. And when reading about it, I got like Little Mermaid vibes. I know that Seraphina is the main character, and she ends up having to go off on this journey to find the 5 other mermaids that all possess those things listed and try to stop a war between the different merlands. Okay, so these next books are books that I got from McKay's Used Bookstore here in Chattanooga. And the first one is Ink by Alice Broadway. Isn't that gorgeous? It's missing the jacket, but it's still beautiful without the jacket. And this is about a girl who, in her world, every action that you do, every significant moment of your life is etched into your skin as a tattoo. And at the end of your life, you can be turned into a skin book where all of your tattoos are brought off and put into a book to tell the story of your life. And her father has passed away, and she wants to have him turned into a skin book. But then she discovers that his tattoos have been edited and his story is not complete. And she doesn't know if she ever really knew him at all. The next book is Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray, and this is the 3rd book in the Diviner series, which I'm working on collecting them because I want to have all of them and read them all at once. But I pulled up on Goodreads about the series, and this is an overview of the whole series. It says, a supernatural series set in Manhattan during the 1920s that follows a teen heroine reminiscent of 2 of the era's most famous literary women, Zelda Fitzgerald and Dorothy Parker. The story will be a wild new ride of dames and dapper dons, jazz babies and prohibition-defying parties, conspiracy and prophecy, and all manner of things that go bump in the neon-drenched night. And I really enjoyed her Gemma Doyle series, so I'm looking forward to reading more of her books. Okay, well that's 1 stack down, 3 more stacks to go. Okay, these next books are books that I purchased from the Decatur Book Festival. So the first one is Kenny and the Dragon by Tony Didderlitzy. And this says, little hair, big tail. What do you do when your new best buddy has been designated a scourge by the community and marked for imminent extermination? Just ask Kenny Rabbit. When the simple folks in the sleepy little village of Roundbrook catch wind that there's a dragon running loose in the countryside, they get the wrong idea, and the stage is set for a fight to the death. So it's up to Kenny to give his neighbors front row seats to one of the best known battles in history, the legendary showdown between St. George and the dragon, without losing a friend in the fray. Okay, next up is the trilogy of The Other Side tales. We have The Smoke Riders, The Tears of Time, and Forged in Flame. And these are by S.W. Heaton III. And I recall him saying that this was kind of a mix between Alice in Wonderland meets Tolkien. So I'll just read you what it says about book 1 here. Addie is a chatterbox who can't stay out of trouble. Her mom works late and her dad's been missing for years. When a pack of boys from her class corners her in an alley, words won't save her. A wicked drop into a dumpster turns into Addie's big disappearing act as she careens shoeless and alone into a world of myth and violence called Other Side. Within mere moments, a vicious mogger picks up her scent and will stop at nothing to catch its prey. While Addie is on the run, she hears rumors about an evil group from the north raiding villages and whispering in the dark. They call themselves the Smoke Riders. Addie and the new friends she gains on her journey must find a way to shake the relentless mogger and warn the old king about the Smoke Riders before the South is lost forever. Maybe, Addie thinks, she can find her father in this beautifully broken world. But Other Side has a funny way of granting wishes. Fall into a brand new myth. And it sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, these next 4 books are part of the Keepers of the Essence series. So we have Twillin's Redeemer, Nature's Lady. And these are all by Rebecca Amon. So there's the first book. Savior of Randor, Master of Air. Phoenicia's Hope, Water's Maiden. And Legend of Ashnir, Creature of Darkness. And I don't want to have to go into reading all of the stuff on the back of this, but if you would like more information about these, I will put my vlog from the Decatur Book Festival here where the author is actually talking about these books. But I do know that they're all like the fae and mermaids and things like that, and elves, and when you watch that vlog, she's the lady dressed up like an elf. These each cover a different element, so I believe this one is like earth, and then we have air and water, and then this is like the bad guy and his is darkness. Okay, these next books are books that I bought in the little bookshop there in Decatur called Little Shop of Stories. It was super cute. So the first one here is a book for Xander that he picked out. It's Fortnite, the Ultimate Unauthorized Guide by Grant Turner. It's about Fortnite. Next was something that I was so excited to find. I didn't know this existed, but it's a graphic novel of Jim and the Holograms. I was just like, oh my gosh, I had to get it. And just, oh, I'm so excited about this. We got the Misfits. Oh, I absolutely loved this show as a kid, and I'm so excited to read this. Next is Overwatch Anthology Volume 1. This was for Xander as well. And this is a hardcover graphic novel based on Overwatch, which is a game that he really likes. So, got that. These next 2 books are books that I ordered from bookdepository.com. The first one is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. And this is about a girl named Cass who, her best friend is not really an imaginary friend, but everybody seems to think he's imaginary because Cass had an accident, but she didn't die all the way. So she's not all the way alive, and her best friend, well, he's kind of a ghost. He's not all the way dead though. So it's an interesting little dynamic there. And Cass is able to like pull back the veil between the living and the dead and communicate with both. And then her parents take this job where they're going to these most haunted places in the world, and they take a trip to Edinburgh, and the city of ghosts is more dangerous than she could possibly imagine. And I ordered this one from Book Depository because I really wanted this particular edition with the black and the red. But we also got a hardcover of this in an Owl Crate Junior box, which Xander has claimed that one, and I'm keeping this one. Also, I ordered The Darkest Legacy by Alexandra Bracken. This is part of the Darkest Mind series. This is about Zoo, and she's all grown up, and she is accused of a horrifying crime, and she has to run for her life. Okay, these next books are books that I ordered from thriftbooks.com. So the first three I have here are Burn for Burn, Fire with Fire, and Ashes to Ashes. And these are by Jenny Han and Saban Vivian. And I'll just read one sentence out of this. It says, 3 very different girls who want the same thing. Sweet, sweet revenge. And they won't stop until they've each had a taste. A little revenge series, as you could probably assume from the titles. And the last book from Thrift Books is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. And this says, a heartbroken girl, a fierce warrior, a hero in the making. Can Mira save a world she's never truly known? And Morgan Rhodes has a blurb on here that says, Snow Like Ashes is a thrilling story with unforgettable characters set in a stunning fantasy world that had me quickly turning pages. I want more. Okay, so that's 2 stacks down. Still got 2 stacks to go. And these are all books that I ordered from Amazon. Some of them I ordered used, but not all of them. It's a lot of books from Amazon. I didn't even realize I had so many of them until I separated them all out like this. Okay, so the first 2 books I have here are the paperbacks of P.S. I Still Love You and Always and Forever Laura Jean by Jenny Han. And I've read To All the Boys I've Loved Before and really, really enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to reading these as well. Okay, next is Two Dark Reigns by Kendar Blake. This is the 3rd book in the Three Darks Crown series. And that is about 3 sisters who were each raised separately. They were like triplets, and they're each raised separately in a different part of the kingdom. They have their own part of the kingdom to like rule over and work on their particular elemental skill that they have. And then when they reach a certain age, they're supposed to meet somewhere and pretty much battle it out to the death to see which one shall become queen. And that's all I really know about this series. And this is the 3rd book in that series, and I already have the first 2, so I'm all set. Okay, next up we have Pretties and Extras by Scott Westerfeld. These are books 2 and 4 of the Ugly series, and that is about a girl named Tally who is just about to turn 16 years old. And up until 16, everybody is considered ugly. At 16, they get to have this surgery where they're made into a pretty. And Tally's like really looking forward to the day that she gets to become a pretty. And a few months before that, she makes a new friend named Shay, who doesn't really want to become a pretty. And then on the day that Tally's supposed to go in and have her surgery, she is interrupted because Shay has gone missing, and they think she knows where Shay may be, and they won't do her surgery until she helps them find Shay and bring her back. So that is what this series is about. Okay, next up is Unforgotten by Jessica Brodi. And this is the 2nd book in the Unremembered series. And that is about a girl named Serafina who is 16 years old and has survived a plane crash where everybody else has died. But the really strange thing is she's not on the flight manifest. There's no fingerprints of hers anywhere in the world. There's no DNA of her anywhere in the world. She can't remember anything before the crash. There's like no evidence that she ever even existed until this crash. And she's trying to piece together what happened, where she came from, all of that. And that is what this series is about. Next, I have some graphic novels. So first off, I have Space Battle Lunchtime Volume 1, Lights, Camera, Snaction, and Volume 2, A Recipe for Disaster by Natalie Rice. And these are just so stinking cute. Like, the graphics are adorable. It's about this intergalactic cooking show where Keaney gets the chance to compete for a big Solar Bucks prize, and she's competing in space up against aliens using alien ingredients, and it just looked super cute and really reminded me of Diner Dash for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm looking forward to reading these. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. Next up, we have Giant Days Volumes 3, 4, and 5. These are about these 3 college roommates. They're all in their freshman year of college, and it's pretty much just them navigating their first year of college. And I think with Volume 5 is when they're actually finishing their first year. And it's a lot of fun. It's super cute. And I don't know, I just really enjoy the art, the story. I like all of the characters. It's a fun and easy read. And then the last of the graphic novels, and I've heard that this is the last in this series of graphic novels, and I'm so sad about it, is I Hate Fairyland Volume 4, Sadly Never After. I absolutely love, love, love this graphic novel series so much. It is, I think, my favorite. It's about this little girl named Gertrude when she is like 10 years old, something like that. She gets whisked away to Fairyland. And she's like, wait a minute, I don't want to be here. I just want to go home. And they're like, okay, you just have to make it through these quests and get your key and then you can go home. And where it takes most kids, you know, a day or two completing the quests and going home and having an amazing adventure, it takes her 30 years. 30 years later, she's still in Fairyland and she absolutely hates it. She never wanted to be there in the first place. And she's pretty much on this murderous rampage and she is psychotic and I love her. And this is the kind of havoc that she wreaks on Fairyland. And this is Gertrude. Okay, next up is The Magic Misfits, the second story by Neil Patrick Harris. And Xander and I read the first story and totally loved it. It's about this little boy named Carter whose parents, I believe, have been killed, and so he's having to live with his uncle, and his uncle is a criminal and is trying to raise Carter to be a criminal as well. And they use their little magic show so that he can steal and things like that from people, but Carter doesn't like it. He doesn't want to steal from people. He doesn't want to hurt people, and he ends up running away. And he finds himself in a place called Mineral Wells where he meets a group of other kids that are all into magic like him, and they end up going against a gang of carny criminals that are trying to steal the world's largest diamond, and they have to put a stop to it. And then the second story is about Layla, the little escape artist. Okay, next up is the Beyonders box set by Brandon Mull. And this has 3 books in it. We have A World Without Heroes, Seeds of Rebellion, and Chasing the Prophecy. And this says, by reading these words, you have nominated yourself to recover the keyword Move swiftly. The knowledge you now possess marks you for prompt execution. The first syllable is A. After falling into a new world called Lyrian, Jason must figure out the clues that piece together an ancient word that could bring down Maldor, the terrifying leader of Lyrian. He is helped by his newfound friend and sidekick Rachel, who has also stumbled into Lyrian. Together they go on an extraordinary quest to figure out how to become the heroes that Lyrian needs, no matter what the cost. And I thought Xander would really enjoy these. Okay, next up we have Every Day and Another Day by David Leviathan. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But this is about this person every day wakes up in a new person's body and has to live that person's life, and that's all they've ever known. Each day it's a different person. It's never the same person twice. And they just go through the motions of that person's life, getting to experience what that person experiences for that day. But then one day they meet this girl that they fall in love with, and they keep going and trying to find this girl in all of their new bodies, and eventually they share with this girl what's going on with them, and she starts developing feelings for this person too. But it's strange because it's a different person every day, but it's the same person. And I read this years ago and really enjoyed it, and just recently learned that it was actually part of a series. So this is the first book, and Another Day is the second book, and I think the third book is actually coming out soon. Okay, another series that I got for Xander is Fablehaven, the complete box set by Brandon Mule. And in this we have the first book, which is Fablehaven, Rise of the Evening Star, Grip of the Shadow Plague, Secrets of the Dragon Sanctuary, and Keys to the Demon Prison. And these are big books too. And this says, for centuries, mystical creatures were gathered into a huge refuge called Fablehaven to prevent their extinction. Kendra and her brother Seth have no idea that their grandfather is the current caretaker of Fablehaven. Inside the gated woods, ancient laws keep order among greedy trolls, mischievous satyrs, plotting witches, spiteful imps, and jealous fairies. However, when the rules get broken, powerful forces of evil are unleashed, and Kendra and her brother must face the greatest challenge of their lives to save their family, Fablehaven, and perhaps even the world. And this seemed like another series that Xander would really enjoy. So I just took a little break for dinner and to get Xander off to bed. And apparently I got some book mail in the mail today. So I thought I would go ahead and open that up and share it with you. It is Someday by David Leviathan, which is the third book in the Everyday series. Okay, the next book I have here is Timothy of the K by Theodore Taylor, and this is a companion to The K, which Xander says is his favorite book. And The K is about this 11-year-old boy named Philip and this old black man who's a sailor named Timothy, and they end up shipwrecked on this island in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. And Philip is blinded during the wreck, and Timothy has to kind of become his eyes. And I know that they spend several months stranded on this island, and that is what The K is about. And this is just a companion to that. It's apparently a prequel sequel. Okay, next up is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Leonie Taylor. And this says, a sweeping and gorgeously written modern fantasy about a forbidden love, an ancient and epic battle, and hope for a world remade. Okay, so the next three books here are part of the Storymaker series by Betsy Chow. We have Spelled, Wanted, and Banished. And this is like a Wizard of Oz retelling, but it combines other fairy tales too. So in these books it picks up things like Robin Hood and Camelot. But I just want to read what's on the back of this first one because it sounds like so much fun. Fairy tale survival rule number 32. If you find yourself at the mercy of a wicked witch, sing a romantic ballad and wait for your Prince Charming to save the day. Yeah, no thanks. Dorothea is completely princed out. Sure, being the crown princess of Emerald has its perks, like Glinda original ball gowns and Han Christian Louis Vuitton heels, but a forced marriage to the charming, strike that, brooding Prince Cato is so not what Dorothea had in mind for her enchanted future. Talk about unhappily ever after. Trying to fix her prince problem by wishing on a cursed star royally backfires, leaving the kingdom in chaos and her parents stuck in some place called Kansas. Now it's up to Dorothea and her pissed off prince to find the mysterious Wizard of Oz and undo the curse before it releases the wickedest witch of all the spells. The end for the world of story. It just sounds so cute. And apparently Banished just came out this year, and I love all these shoes. Like, I want all of these shoes. Anyway, they sound like a lot of fun and I really can't wait to read them. Okay, next up I have Gathering Deep by Lisa Maxwell, and this is the second book in the Sweet Unrest series, and I already have the first book, but it's on my shelf over there. So I pulled it up on Goodreads so I could tell you about it. It says, Lucy Ames has always been practical, but try as she might, she can't come up with a logical explanation for the reoccurring dreams that have always haunted her. Dark dreams. Dreams of a long ago place filled with people she shouldn't know, but does. When her family moves to a New Orleans plantation, Lucy's dreams become more intense, and her search for answers draws her reluctantly into the old city's world of voodoo and mysticism. There, Lucy finds Alex, a mysterious boy who behaves as if they've known each other forever. Lucy knows Alex is hiding something, and her rational side doesn't want to be drawn to him, but she is. As she tries to uncover Alex's secrets, a killer strikes close to home, and Lucy finds herself ensnared in a century-old vendetta. With the lives of everyone she loves in danger, Lucy will have to unravel the mystery of her dreams before it all comes to a deadly finish. Okay, next up we have The Storm Runner by J.C. Cervantes. And this is the second book in the Rick Riordan Presents series. The first one was A Rue Shaw and the End of Time. And this very much gives me those same kind of vibes. It's Mayan mythology though. This says, Zane Obispo spends every day exploring the sleeping volcano in his backyard. The Beast, as he calls it, is the one place where he can escape other kids who make fun of him because he has a limp and walks with a cane. After a twin-engine plane crashes into the Beast, a mysterious girl named Brooks shows up at Zane's doorstep, insisting that they meet at the volcano, where she will reveal a terrible secret. Zane agrees, mostly because beautiful girls like her don't usually talk to him. Brooks tells him that the volcano is actually a centuries-old prison for the Maya god of death, whose destiny is directly tied to Zane's. No way, Zane thinks. He's just a 13-year-old nobody, and destiny or no destiny, he wants nothing to do with any of it, especially some god of death. But Brooks opens his eyes to the truth. Magic, monsters, and gods are real, and Zane is at the center of an ancient prophecy that could mean the destruction of the world. Suddenly finding himself entangled in a web of dangerous secrets, Zane embarks on a quest that will take him far from home and test him to the very core. Feisty heroes, tricky gods, murderous demons, and spirited giants are just some of the pleasures that await in this fresh and funny take on Maya mythology, as rich and delicious as a mug of authentic hot chocolate. Okay, next up I have Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins, and this is the third book in the Anna and the French Kiss series, which is about a girl named Anna who's supposed to go into her senior year in Atlanta where she's got a great job and a best friend and a crush on the verge of becoming something more, which is why she really isn't thrilled when she gets shipped off to boarding school in Paris. Until she meets super cute guy that's charming, smart, handsome, and has a girlfriend. But in the City of Light, wishes have a way of coming true. And then last but certainly not least, yes I know, we finally come to the end, the Annotated Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. And this is the Centennial Edition, and it is just gorgeous. So it is just full of, we have the story, and then there's numbers along that tell you, like here, this line, there's an annotated thing here. And I'm just so excited to read this at some point. And there's a map of the marvelous land of Oz in the front, which is just great. There's the Emerald City. All right, well that is everything in this ridiculously massive haul. I know this video is going to be super long, but comment down below if you've read any of these books, if you liked them, if you didn't like them. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you.